Hello. It is entirely way too late over here. But here I am. I've combined the Lafruma. Oh, the circle. I've combined the Lafruma with the Mystical Shaman Oracle cards. And I'm using the romance setting on the light switch to hopefully get some beautiful messages. some nice messages. So I'm not gonna take these, but the first two cards that come out, numbers 23 and 9, the giveaway and completion. Hey Holly, how you doing tonight? It's a solid what? Oh no, you're more than 2 hours. Like 10, maybe 11. No, it's almost. I don't know. Bottom of the deck is burst out. Free, right? I mean, yeah, free. It feels like free completions, like they're being given away. You get a completion, and you get a completion, and you get a completion. 1043. Okay. I think I was gonna say, I was like, I know it's like more than 2 hours. It's too dark. I don't like it. Well, I'm gonna adjust the overhead light a little bit so that I can see the actual cards. But I'm gonna leave the romance setting on. There you go. A nice, healthy compromise. Oh gosh, deck's been so chatty lately. Number 45, the Seer, with Day Purged and Win. Bliss. See, I actually need this light to be brighter so you can see the cards when I hold them up. Bottom of the deck is the Arrow and the Time Master. So see how there's like these day and night, or the dark and light triangles are like cut. It's like the Seer is seeing right through this stage, seeing through the days to the wind. I'm gonna turn this. The light is bothering me, so it's not gonna work. I tried it. Let's see. Forest, jungle, mojito. Let's try mojito. Oh gosh. Ooh. Ooh, good. Mojito was bright. Hold up. I can put this back down, maybe. Oh, maybe not. Oh, maybe I can. Arrival? I don't think I've seen that. Oh, this is really bright. This is really bright. Now it's all dark. Oh, gosh. Ooh. I am trying to go to bed at some point eventually tonight, so probably don't need to blast myself. Um, let's see. There we go. I feel like I should know what Arrival is. Excuse me. But alas, I do not. So, I should have moved all this before. Do I have any water? Nope. I have no water. The problem with me getting not water, like I got some tea right now, and I still have a few of these diet Pepsis left. The problem with me getting like not water is that I drink anything but water. But I had some water earlier today. So the seer is seeing right through. We're on mojito now. That dark green I'm not a fan of. So the seer is seeing right through Dej to win. And it feels like it's very similar, if not the same as. And now this is zoomed all the way in. Okay, that was it. But it's like if it were this way, I guess. Like the Time Master is peering daggers. Or is the seer connecting, locking eyes with the Time Master across Dej? I feel like I bit off more than I can chew. We'll get into it. I'm just gonna set this as a whatever because this is bothering me. Okay, maybe I haven't seen that. Maybe I have not seen that. And I feel less bad for not knowing. See the relax? Okay, it's a soft pink. I put on the relax light. It's a soft pink. I can do it. See, this win is what's confusing me. But I think I'm going to read win as the opposite of needle. Or that's how I'm feeling it. Oh, well, I already did this so I can go to bed. This is that when I was reading and I used the Angelarium Year 2 cards and Armoros came out with Rev and it was undoing time. This is that energy. Because it feels like as the seer is gazing into Dej, she locks eyes with the Time Master. There you go. There's the one thing about being zoomed in that like I get less space to show these. It feels like she locks eyes with the Time Master. And Needle is stitched, but with this wind feeling like the reverse side of Needle, it's being like unstitched. So now I'm gonna look through 50 million cards to find Needle. So I can show you what I'm talking about. And we're gonna see who's before and after Needle. And we'll see sort of like what's going on. Why is Rainbow in reverse? Lower world is oh gosh. I think I put so I cut the decks in half and then I shuffled half together and I shuffled half together. I think when I put them all together and shuffled them, one of the decks was in reverse. So, and it was the heavier side too, because it wasn't exactly half, but that's fine. I'm turning them upright as I go through it. So far, most of them are upright, which is nice. I had a thought earlier today to go and look for. I mean, I guess it's a good thing that the same. I haven't seen Interstellar, but I've like read the plot, and I That's one of those. There are a few movies. I had a plot reading phase on, like, I just look it up on Wikipedia and read the plot. And it was towards the end of my plot reading phase. And that's one of the movies where I kind of wish I had seen it instead of reading it. But I guess I haven't had too many opportunities to watch it unless it's on like Netflix. Then I've had Netflix. Uh, Wait, I've never seen. Excuse me, I've never seen Interstellar either. But I had an idea earlier to go looking for all the cards that I haven't seen in a minute. So, like, as the last time I used the Angelariums, every time I use them lately, I'm like, oh, it's on there. Ooh, okay, we got Needle. So, Smoky Mirror, which was discussed at some point recently, yeah, because the cloud that looks like the 8 to 9 of Pentacles. Now it's looking like a turtle. It's looking like a turtle in the sky. Turtles in the sky. See, needle. It's like the opposite, or it's the mirror. You can't even see it. It's the mirror of wind, and when you put them both together, you get Kanafa, which is interesting. I guess if you superimpose them, but yeah, it's feeling like wind is more so like the reverse of needle. If needle is like stitching, then the opposite would be like unstitching. After needle is yo, ao, you, sacral. The spiral and the crow. Oh, the crow is number 13. Yo is number 13. 47 is the smoky mirror. The spiral, the crow, and the upper world are after that. Yo. Upper world with this smoky mirror already on the table. It is. I know. I've been like, every time there's a few movies that I really want to watch. And every time I have time to watch a movie and I sit down to watch a movie, I forget. I was like, I know there was something that I wanted to watch, which is why I started a little list. I finished the little list of movies that I had. I just need to like add more. Excuse me. So as the seer peers into day and catches or locks eyes with the time master, and time is undone, it's in between the smoky mirror and the sacral. You is the medicine for Ash, for me, because ash trees are standing dead, but you grows from the inside. They're standing dead because the emerald ash borer. It's just now setting? Oh, well, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I'm like, it's almost 11 o'clock and it's just now setting. That's wild. I'm sure it's great unless you don't like the sun, because in the winter, then it's like that, what, days without sunlight or however many hours. Um, you is the medicine for ash because the emerald ash borer burrows all through the wood of ash trees and just like destroys them from the inside. But you regrows from the inside. It rejuvenates from the inside out. So it feels like that is the undoing. Well, needle is mending. as well. But I'm feeling so. When is the unstitching of time? Needle is still coming out as that mending energy, but it's mending something almost by like going back. If I could turn back time. I think I've already seen Ash, so now I get to go in the reverse direction. Because you was here with the smoky mirror. The smoky mirror is us as we go through life. And it's almost like there are some situations that align with the truth of who we are. But then there are other things that we go through that we might have to distort in a way. And by that, it's like, if we are typically a carefree person, but there's something very important that's going on in our lives. So we have to pay. I'm just like, oh, I guess you can't even see it. Um, it's like typically we're like carefree, but there's something that's really important. So we have to focus. We have to pay a lot of attention. It's a minor example of this, but it's like because of the situation that we need to respond to in some way, we're taken outside of our default. And it feels like that's what puts ripples on the pond or puts ripples on the pool that is like this smoky mirror. It's like there are some things that come in and like clear it up. There are other things that come in and almost distort it in a way. But let's see. I'm pretty sure. I hope I've seen Ash. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I saw Ash because that's what prompted me. Because I remembered Ash used to come out all the time when I used this deck. And earlier I was thinking about how I used to see Bezaliel and Duma all the time. And I was like, it's probably a not bad thing that I'm not seeing the same cards that I used to see every single time I pulled these cards. But I'm just like curious to see like what would be around those energies now. You know what I mean? And Ash is one of the ones in this deck in the Lafruma that I used to see every gosh darn time. Or it might have been Earthgrap, but I'm pretty sure I saw Ash. I think, well, now I'm less confident. Now I am less confident that I've seen Ash. Oh, look at this though. No, because here's completion right here, and I'm pretty sure completion was at like the bottom. Kanafa is with the title card. So what happens when you put Wind and Needle back to back, or when you superimpose them on top of each other? It's a mystery. Do 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 do. And this is a collective thank you. Title card. Oh no. Okay. There's Rasa with health. Okay. All right. All right. Oh, yep. Here's Ash right here. So going backwards, before Ash is Feo, which is what, abundance, wealth, livestock. Yeah, wealth, livestock, Feo. I was gonna like, I was like, I'm not gonna do that much. I don't need to clear this. And then there's Ash. And then it's the council. So between Feo, wealth, livestock, and the council is Ash. So the premise of the wealth of Feo, especially in the Lafruma, is that it's like livestock that people had back in the day. Like I got 5 sheep and 2 cows and 10 chickens, and that was wealth because that's what mattered. Being able to eat and having sheep to shear and have wool and stuff like that, and people would get married off for 2 cows or whatever. Um, but it's like it's all about keeping it, even with money, right? I know they say that you have to spend money to make money, but a lot of times people will like sort of invest it in different things, but they don't really like spend it for like a lot of I guess in order to accumulate money, you have to spend less than you accumulate, right? Because if you're spending more than you're gaining, then it's not necessarily growing. But because it's with the council here, it's this energy of like being pinched off of source. So the ash personal Yggdrasil it's sort of standing in this place of like the fragment of source that we are. Right? If you think of the council as a collective of people, then the Fea with the council would be like one of the people in that council, one of the council members. And again, I've loved that with the smoky mirror because that's exactly sort of this. And that's, I guess, in a way, that's what I was getting at. I mean, I guess it's the closest to, this is probably the closest approximation in these two decks that I would like. It's one of the closer approximations to what well, I guess there's that card. I always forget about that one. But it's still like it's a pretty close approximation for me. Um, so with the smoky mirror, like our true self is basically our higher self, or you can say like the image of the creator that we're made in. And there are some experiences that affirm that in our lives. There are some experiences, now smoky mirrors in reverse. There are some experiences that like get us away from that. But with the you mending, this was all about finding the sacred seed that sits in the soul, or the sacred seed that sits in the sacral center. And then, like, what's being mended because you is the medicine for Ash. It's that separation from the divine. But again, it's like a particular embodiment of divine energy, or a person, an individual that houses a fraction of the divine. We're all made in the image of the creator, right? Which would, I guess, also explain why. But yeah, because that was the thing. With the reversing of time, it's like going back to the creation of your soul. Back before everything split into an uncountable number of pieces. Back when everything was one. The clock is like being reversed. Then I have Hooded Unseeing here. So, like, what does this mean? Who are you? Anwilla. Anwilla must have been at the. No, I think I've seen Anwilla. I'm going to try to shuffle this. Yeah, I really should have cleared more space. What does this, like, mean, though? I wanted to use the water note animal spirits. The reason why I'm using these two is, like, I wanted to use a deck that has cards. I wanted to challenge myself, I guess, in using a deck and being like, what does this mean for me? The Wild Unknown Animal Spirits is another deck for me. Because I was thinking of the Gazelle, of course, because, Reem. But also how, because of Reem, that's a card that has a meaning for me. of us, and I guess that's appropriate for this because that's the energy of us being who we were like originally intended to be, us being who we were or are created to be. It's not like what we have become because of the absence or because of the lack or because of the dwindling and diminishing of what was. And then I thought of the tarantula because that's another card in the Water Known Animal Spirits. Every time I pick up that deck, I'm like, what if tarantula comes out? What am I going to say? I don't know anything about tarantulas. But then when I read it, I looked them up. It's like, tarantulas are spiders, but they're ground spiders. And their webs are a lot less sticky and they like burrow. So, like, they're spiders, but they're larger and they're hairier and they operate in a different way. So some of the energies are similar, but because the environment and the size and the lifestyle is different, then it takes on different sort of different whatevers. Bottom of the deck is the Rainmaker, number 42. Because 42 is Shini, which is death, and it's the Rainmaker. It's a tearjerker. Two cards fell out. Leaf Shade, which was at the bottom of the deck behind whatever was at the bottom of the deck. I literally just saw one of the cards that came out. Whatever those two cards, whatever cards came out when I was first shuffling it. Leaf Shade was at the bottom of the deck under the one that I showed you. And then Leecha is behind that. So Leech, Emotional Drain, and Leaf Shade, Cradled. Which is, this Leecha has come out before. I think it was when I was doing the lion spread because I remember it had an energy of like there's something 48 and 72. 48 is a number I've been seeing, a number that's sticking in my mind at least. I think in the Energy Oracle cards, I saw 48 and maybe in another deck, the Enchanted Map Oracle. But when it came out, it was like there's something that is sitting at a certain depth within the soul or the psyche, but it's something that we innately don't, it's something that we innately have limited access to because of the amount of vulnerability with self that it requires to like see it or find it. So it ends up being something that we heal into, or and or because it's mending. Is it mending through virtue of regressing in time? I don't want to say regressing, progressing backwards, which is different than regressing. Because to regress is to like undo, but to progress backwards is to like turn around and head facing forward in the direction that we came from. Because if we regress, it's like we're still facing the direction we were facing, but we're moving backwards. This isn't a backwards movement. It's progression in a direction that we come from. So the mending is in the undoing of time. But what was I saying? Yeah, basically it's like if we came down with a more clearer vision, just innately when we were children before the world happened to us. But with the cradled energy of leaf shade, it feels like cradling is furling. It feels like the shade of this leaf is putting it into like the shadows, into the darkness. And the more of these emotional bleeds that we have, or the more of these experiences that have caused ripples and distortions in the smoky mirror pond, the the darker those things, not dark necessarily in a heavy way, Just like the harder it got to see with every sort of passing circumstance or instant. And then the Rainmaker at the bottom of the deck, because of the 42, it's like death. And because it's rain, the rain would be tears. So it's an energy of something that causes grief. Um, but it's the tears that replenish the earth. Who's under the Rainmaker? Onwardness. And then Anwala. So there's a resistance. There could be a resistance to. It's either a resistance to this Rainmaker. There's a resistance to a sort of grieving, or it's this willpower that we utilize to keep ourselves in an energy of grieving. It makes me think it has to be the SKT. I'm pretty sure it's the SKT, the spirit associated with the Five of Cups, which is the bereaved. But for some reason in my mind, I'm seeing it in the Tarot Apocalypses. That's a card that was coming out when I first started using that deck. But it's just like the spirit of grief comes to help us mourn a loss, but it's like be careful that we don't allow it to overstay its welcome. This is like I feel like I did just see thunder. One of my old coworkers had a band thing today, a concert, and I went with my mom to see it. It was actually really nice. I kind of wish I could have took, or I would have thought of asking my younger brother to come too, because he used to be in band. Anytime I go to something on the campus, I'm like, I'm ready to re-enroll. It was on campus. She's in the university band. Anyway, and so we drove over there, and the last performance that they had was like thunder something or lightning something, and they had like light effects. And I was like, oh snap. Because dude was like, university band's gonna have special effects. And then I was sitting with my mom, I'm like, where are the special effects? And they sang, and instead of just like playing their instruments, they sang on the penultimate song, I guess, I'm pretty sure. And my mom was like, that was the special effects. I'm like, them singing is the special effects. Um, but it wasn't Thunderfields or Lightning. It might have been Thunderfields actually. But it's making me think of Blue Lunar Storm year. I'm pretty sure we're in Yellow Electric Seed now. Or I could be a year off. But Yellow Electric Seed came after the Blue Lunar Storm. Something about this is a little stormy, but okay. I guess the lamp just decided to bring itself down. I'll just turn up the brightness. It's fine. Or maybe this is like, I love how it did that for dramatic effects. Maybe it's appropriate. Because it is almost like, it's like the tears in the water nourishes something. But if there's too much, it'll drown the seeds. And by drowning them, it's almost like it will erode the soil and then wash the seeds away. Of course, they could always grow and sprout wherever they end up. Um, the lower world is behind Umbrella with Earth in reverse. Earth and the Earth Keeper both in reverse under that lower world. I'm putting them up right though, because like I said, I'm turning them all up right. The Fruma is behind the Earth Keeper with Whacking and the giveaway. So now instead of the giveaway being with at Bursted, That was so it was under Leaf Shade had to be, I think it was under Atberson because the giveaway came out and Atberson was at the bottom of the deck. It was the giveaway and another card, and Atberson was at the bottom of the deck. And it was like, you get a this and you get a that and da 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 da. But now instead of the giveaway being with Atberson, with it being free, it's now with the Spear of Truth or Spear of Troth. Gar. Under Gar is Earthgrab. The Beauty Way is in reverse under Earth Grip. Earth's Grip Return. That Earth's Grip being, again, it's just like how life comes in and there's hot again. How life can, almost life itself, or how living can rob us of certain truths of the self. Cool. Well, I wanted to get 3, 2, 1. 3 cards for the solar eclipse, 2 cards for the in between, 1 card for the upcoming lunar eclipse. Since I don't believe I've specifically done anything for the eclipses, I thought about it the other day and I was like, well, I'm not feeling particularly led or guided to pull specifically for the eclipses. Just do a bunch of generals and they resonate when they resonate, if they resonate. You know what I mean? But we'll see. Maybe I will. And then I'll end this because I need to go to sleep. It was such a interesting experience though. My youngest brother turned 25 yesterday. Technically the day before yesterday. April's almost over. My youngest brother turned 25. And it's kind of wild to me that he's that old, but also at the same time not, because I'm as old as I am, and if I'm as old as I am, then he's as old as he is. That's how this thing works, you know. Um, and I don't know, it was just like I felt oddly emotional. Like, wow, I got to live to see him. I mean, I guess I am. I'm proud of him, and I'm proud. Yeah, I was gonna. I'm not really shocked, but because he's been, when we lived together growing up, we butted heads. It was not like we did not get along until I left for college. And when I left for college, I didn't have to live with him anymore. So it helped our relationship tremendously. But also at that same time, it's not that I ever tried to necessarily control him, but it's just like there was some stuff he did that was just like, why? And then he was like kind of a menace. And then, of course, you know, my mom would always be like, well, if your youngest brother can't go, then blah, 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 blah. I don't even like go anywhere. But the few things I want to do, he can't go, so now I can't do it. I don't want him to feel left out. So when he playing with his little friends, I'm left out. Anyway, um, it's just like the person that he's maturing into and the things that he's doing in his life right now makes me proud. Makes me proud older brother. And I was like, I'm glad I got to live to see that. Um, and then just going to like the concert today was another like heart at the bottom of the deck. Was another gorgeous experience. One that honestly, if my friend wasn't performing, I would have never thought to go. But now I'm like, I would actually like love to do this more. Um, Also, it's just like there are certain things that I've been wanting, and I don't want to have to go to London to feel like I could, you know, like there's a whole country to explore where I am. There's a whole city, a whole state, a whole lot of stuff that I just never have the mind to go and see, and I want to get out and start doing more. Um, but as I was listening to the music, like with the different pieces that they were playing, it would bring like a scene or a vibe or a feeling to my mind, almost like how movies, certain scenes in certain genres of movie will be scored. And then, of course, I think like, is it because I've seen so many movies scored in this type of whatever that it brings a certain image to mind when I just hear the music? Or does the music inform the scene? You know what I mean? If that matters. It is, and it's the perfect time for it too. And I'm already branching out a little bit. Ooh, see. So the journey, oh, well, the journey home. It's the journey number 29 and number 77 by Frost. Him, Pharrell, Journey Home. Journey and Journey Home. The Journey Home. Something about the Bifrost rune makes me think of night. And it's like the purple up here, kind of sort of in here specifically, make me think of the night rune. And I guess it makes sense because, typically Bifrost rainbow bridges through the cosmos. It's like done in a backdrop of like space, and in space, everything is like black. Everything is dark besides the stars. And then it's like, if trolls guard bridges, then it would make sense. The bridge that the troll guards is the Bifrost. Um, but the journey with the journey home. I just saw 29. Was 29 Earth Grab? I think 29, Rune 29 is Earth Grab, and I just saw that. Who's at the bottom of the deck? Bottom of the deck is the sacrifice in reverse with completion upright. And then Kanafa with the title card still behind that. Sacrifice and completion. It's interesting that sacrifice is in reverse when the giveaway was upright. Just, mentioning it. Again, I want to turn these all upright, but as I come across them, I'll turn them upright. So I need one more card. So it was 3 for the solar eclipse, 2 for the in between, 1 for the lunar eclipse. So far with the solar eclipse, we have the journey and Hamferode Bifrost Journey Home. Journey Home being an interesting card to come out. I'm just gonna pick one because I'm probably gonna get more. Oh, the heart of the sky. Oh, not the heart of the sky with all that cosmic stuff. This is the background for the Bifrost Bridge. Oh my gosh. Journey, the journey home, heart of the sky. Um, what number are you? 24. Ooh. Bottom of the deck is East Ice Grips. I don't even know what I was saying. What was I talking about? This is interesting though. It's interesting that the journey, Bifrost, Journey Home, and Heart of the Sky are here because this is basically that Seer, Dej, win with the Time Master and the Arrow. How it's like it's proceeding back towards the creation of one soul, becoming the higher self, or however you, right? And it's like literally here. But see, this is so interesting because it feels like this could be Journey Home in that way, but it also feels that as like as we journey to the Bifrost, And as we're journeying across the Bifrost, we catch the attention of the heart of the sky. Just like how when the seer was peering into Dej, she locked eyes with the Time Master. What this is. Well, that was the solar eclipse. So let's get two cards for this in between period. Now, these I do feel more comfortable shuffling. I mean, if I get more than two cards, it's fine. But I would prefer the 3-2-1, please. It would be nice. I watch what's her name sometimes. I can't remember her name. I don't remember her name. I think her name is Jocelyn or Jacqueline, and she like does this when she shuffles. She does that like slow whatever. That I can do. I'm gonna do one of those because I think it's easier to not get like 15 cards. Two cards for the in between, please. Yeah, I'm gonna just shuffle the way I shuffle because there's too many cards. Oh, Remo put like 15 decks together and use them in a heartbeat. I think I probably just try to like manage too many cards at once. Bottom of the deck is Os, Godmouth, Os, Godmouth, girl. As we're talking about, yeah, like the seer is like gazing through the day, locking eyes with the Time Master. Solar eclipse had us on this journey home, crossing the Bifrost, and as we're crossing the Bifrost, we catch the attention of the heart of the sky. Oh, and I got two cards. Love it. Flow number 20 and the Jaguar 28. Flow and the Jaguar. Well, Flow goes first and then the Jaguar. 2028 could be a significant year for anyone who's. I actually do have my phone. Um, hey Siri, where's my phone? Darn it. Give me 1 second. I have my iPad. Here's my iPad. I'll just use my iPad. I want to look at. Here it is. I want to look at the astrology in 2028 because that being like 5 years. So that's not going to be the opposite nodes. I'm just going to go to this time, 2028. Neptune in Aries, Mars conjuncting Saturn in Taurus. So it's going to be Mars 1 degree, Taurus, Saturn 2 degrees, Chiron 4 degrees, the Sun 10 degrees, Mercury 28 degrees. Uranus and Venus in Gemini, the Moon in Cancer, South Node Cancer, so that's North Node Capricorn. Jupiter in Virgo, conjuncting Pallas Athena in Virgo, North Node Capricorn, Pluto in Aquarius, and Black Moon Lilith in Pisces. Flow and the Jaguar. So that'll be what? Oh, girl, it's getting late. I already lost the aspect of my brain. Pluto 8 degrees Aquarius. Trining Uranus 8 degrees Gemini. Tight trine in air. Squaring the sun in Taurus. Also, like weekly, the Mars and Saturn. Sextiling Neptune decently strongly. Pluto and Aquarius trine Uranus sextile Neptune. Jupiter and Virgo. I don't know what I'm looking at her for. Um, well, I guess I don't have a lion in these decks. So Jaguar could be lion, or it's like flowing in that direction. Solar eclipse has us traveling the Bifrost, locking eyes with the heart of the sky. I don't even know. Like with the Time Master, it felt like the Seer and the Time Master lock eyes, and there's acknowledgement of one and the other. Would the Time Master already be aware of the Seer? Probably. But there's a difference when like there's a difference between like you noticing something or someone and you noticing that they're also noticing you at that same time. But with the heart of the sky, I don't know if we're necessarily noticing the heart of the sky or if we just catch the attention of the heart of the sky because of the Bifrost pathways that like we're using. I mean, I guess if it's a Bifrost pathway that's been in a state of disuse for some time, it would probably be at least a bit of a shock to somebody. It's like, oh, Bifrosts are up again? Okay. I was wondering when they would get those figured out or whatever. There is almost this greater looming energy with Jaguar. It's not necessarily bad, but it is present. It does feel like it can have the it does feel like it could potentially be influential, but the reason why I say that is because in the flow card the person is under the moon with this flow, but in the Jaguar it's like that's the moon right there, and like this is the person in front of the moon. The moon is a decent size, but then in the Jaguar it's like this tiny little thing. I don't know how I feel about this honestly. Yeah, that's the moon. It looks cratered. See the little shadows look cratery. I guess it's interesting because the goddess of the moon has been making appearances in the energy oracle cards. Of course, it's not necessarily bad. Well, the bottom of the deck is Godmouth. Heartache is at the top of the deck. I just picked up the deck and it remained on the table. Heartaker was at the bottom of the deck when I finished shuffling or something like that. Or it might have done the same thing. With Os Godmouth, Hagal number 9 is under Os. Hagal and Rasa. Ash is under Rasa, if you're curious. Vane is under Ash, but I'm going to stop picking up cards. Sounds found deep in every cell call out, forcing the source of the God voice of the earth's breath to burst and release. Each atom an unhatched cosmic egg of unmatched mystical potential. To rise up is to speak up, to give song to ancestral codes of healing nestled in all our vessels of the world soul. Galder, your best life. Reach forward and commune. And I know you said Jaguar has powerful ancestor medicine. Well, to give song to ancestral codes of healing. Heartache, throb. I need to go to bed. Ariel, how are you doing? What's up? Are you able to get more sleep? Have you been getting more sleep? Excuse me. This honestly, because of throb, it's less heartache, more throb. It's like the throb of God. You're at the Hilton Resort celebrating your and your daughter's B-Day. Yeah. Happy birthday. And I'm glad that I mean I hope you're enjoying your time. And I hope it's all nice and stuff. Um love that. She's 7 on the 27th. 25, 27. My little brother's 28. You just got everyone down? Nice. I know you said the youngest. No, it wasn't your youngest. It was the 2-year old. The one that was sleeping through the night. Two grandmas? So are they like helping? So you can like get sleep and stuff? It's like, it's my birthday. Excuse me. This feels like it would be like the heartbeat of God, but it feels like it's like the last vestige of. She's doing better. Okay, I'm glad to hear it. Oof. I mean, I say I couldn't even imagine, but my sleep schedule is already kind of terrible. So, you know, I feel like it wouldn't be too much difference. Not too much. But I guess it's different like when you can't sleep, when you have the ability to, and when you can't sleep because you can't sleep. This is so interesting. Excuse me. What's going on? I feel like my life is about to be. I'm enjoying the last remnants of calm, but also like I'm ready for stuff to pick up because I've been 4 months now, 4.5. Oh, this is an energy of conjunction. So that's okay. That's the throb of protection, elks, and Heartaker. But this is the throb of God. or some vestige of the divine. Oh, well, there were spirit babies that needed an acceptable, not acceptable, a receptive. Spirit babies knew what they were doing. So this is an energy of conjunction, like I just said. So we're using Bifrost. There's like some Bifrost, whatever. And it doesn't even have to be like that, like no one is using it. But with this journey into the Bifrost, attracting the attention of the heart of the sky, there's something about something that we're accessing that we weren't, at least in this way, before the solar eclipse. Or maybe it's like something's gotten deeper or whatever. This in the conjunction, it's like as we are flowing under the moon, this jaguar is feeling divine. Again, there's no lion, so there isn't a lion. Pretty sure. Um, it feels like this is like being co-signed by spirit. That's why it's the heartbeat or the throbbing of the heart of God mouth. So like there's something that we are doing on these Bifrost pathways that aligns with what the heart of the sky wants to see like done in this little between eclipses. Well, she might have had all the girls she'll have, so she has one more. It might be a boy. You never know. And then all the boys will be one that come through. It'll be the gateway boy. Like, oh, she's open for boys now? Okay. I don't think there's a lion card in the. Oh. I don't think there's a lion card in the mystical timing oracles. Like five. Oh, well, there's the one. That's the one I wanted. It's Lafruma. Of course, it's Lafruma. Why would it be anything else? Bottom of the deck, number 25. Oh, support. I wanted one card for the lunar eclipse coming up, and like a few of them spilled out, but then one card flipped over by itself. It came out in reverse though. Kind of looks like Heartaker in reverse. I don't remember what Heartaker looks like, but my brain is like, looks like Heartaker. Oh, it's only two. Oh, so you're just trying. Just like we are closed. No more. No more. So the two cards that flipped over, Sigil and Sun Life Force. Sun, right? Yeah, Sun Life Force, and then you Sacral. There's that U energy again. Who is this? 13, 16, 53? 58, sorry. 58 is a 13. Oh, stop. It's like, sorry, you're gonna have to find another mommy and daddy, because This is so like I feel like this is everything I've already done. Well, kind of, sort of, in a way, not really. Roughly. Like I read enough. I probably don't have to specifically do like a new moon or a full moon or an eclipse because I'm live at least 4 days out of a week most times, if not six. Um, I wonder if it's connected to the heart of the sky or if the heart of the sky is like giving it juice. But there's also like the co-signing of the jaguar that read as a conjunction. It's feeling like a conjunction. Um, you is feeling very energetic body. I mean, it can be any of the bodies. It's feeling more like mental, emotional, spiritual, etheric, energetic rather than like physical body. But it's like the U lines are internal. Because again, the U grows from the like it regrows from the inside out. This I remember when Perth came out with Calc, and it's like there's an energy that's trying to like dissolve a blockage. It's a surge of this cosmic energy. And if our body, it's like if the blockage is dissolved, then the body learns how to like circulate that energy. This is a body that's circulating that life force per more etheric sort of energy. Um, and that's, I guess, the one card that was for after the full moon or for the full moon. Excuse me. And then again, the Fruma is right here. Maybe the Fruma came out in reverse because it's the Feo and the Council again, where it's like to be an individual council member rather than like the entirety of the council. Oh, oh no! I will never be able to relate. Yeah, I know one of my friends. After she gave birth the first time, she was talking about like how real postpartum is on her Facebook. So, I mean, it's not unplugged when you're like, "I'll be its mommy." She's like, it's like when somebody comes in right before close, and you're like, "Oh, we'll take care of you," and then more and more and more people come in. Oh my gosh. So y'all remember Lecha, right? And how Lecha came out. I think it was with the lion spread, and it was like there's something deep within the self that requires a tremendous amount of vulnerability to discover. And so whatever it is, it's like by default, it's kind of sort of like blocked off or shut off just because of the depth of vulnerability. And when we expand our capacity to meet that, then it's sort of like uncapped. That's what this ox support. So maybe instead of it being like we're being supported in that process, we're being helped through these emotional bleeds to like staunch them. What does that look like? Interesting question. But remember how we saw Earth Mason, our Earth grab last time, and it was like gripped. Well, now there's Earth Mason, thy earthly power. Thy earthly power is kind of sort of feeling like when you got that life force sigil pumping through your energetic veins, girl. Thy earthly power. Yeah, so Jaguar was kind of lying, um, which is cool. Here's Calc. Oh, I love this. I love this. So literally, like just talking about this, right? I was just telling y'all about how like Perth came out with mortar, anchored calc came out with calc, anchored mortar. And it's like if you allow those divine energies, that surge of energy, if it breaks through whatever blockages keep the body from being able to like build it up. It's almost like if there's like a short in a wire or something, then the circuit, it's like even though the circuit is closed, it can be incomplete. So it's like faulty. It goes in and out and in and out and in and out. But if we can allow that energy, whatever is surging, to like bust through that blockage, then the body will be able to like store that energy. This is the body that has that energy. Well, under Earth grab, which is like it's free, it's our earthly power now rather than it being the thing that is sort of held from us. And Earth was in reverse with Earth Keeper in reverse, right behind it at the bottom of the deck. Before I shuffled it and I did this, I don't remember the full context, but they were there. Earth and the Earth Keeper both in reverse. I turned them up right. Well, here's Earth Grab, and under Earth Grab, or Earth Masion, thy earthly power, the power, the seed right there, the one that we get from the Fruma, right there. Speaking of seeds in the womb, um, here's Calc, anchored mortar with at bursting right behind it. It was able to break through the blockage of Calc. That's why it's flowing in the Earth Nation. They're both pink. Oh my gosh, look at that. Imagine. So I guess that's what we got to look forward to after. So what's this in between? The in between again is flow with the Jaguar. Maybe the Jaguar also has like a denizen of the depths. You're a life path 9. Oh, oof. Well, my new life path number is 1. I'm in the 1 phase of my life, so I'm officially done with my life path 7. Even though I guess I'll always be life path 7, but my second number and my third number are both 1s. So I'm all on that expedition now. How appropriate that was. Boom, love that. Love to see it. What was anchored is now whatever. Oh, here's Spirit Troth Gear again. I'm gonna separate these, get a final card, and then go to sleep. But yeah, it was just like I feel like co-signing that thing that I was saying, because I was like, this is what happens when you're free for cosmic energy, and then it becomes life force rather than it being this wild and random surging cosmic energy. It's your life force. Yeah, something about the Jaguar being like a denizen of the dark. Um, and how again it was night. Maybe after I put all the cards together, I'll look through the rest of the cards and I'll see if I can see night. If I haven't already. Oh, it's literally right here. Yeah, because I was going off the top of the deck. So Neath, Ninth, Night, or Neath, Ninth Shadows was right behind at Burston. Under that is Ken, the Divine Spark, and Night, and then Swelchness. So Night is in between Ken and Swelchness, which is again, it follows the logic of this reading so far about how Swelchness is the life that happens that separates us from the divine spark kin. The kin divine spark is almost like if in that smoky mirror it were clear. But then as different things happen, there are ripples in the pond, things that muddy and murky the water, murkify the waters. Face night, face the swellness, reignite that kin. The kin is the light that passes through the prism that creates the Bifrost Bridge. And it was in between all rooms. Cute, cool. But yeah, that's the I don't know. One day I just saw I was looking at Hemfereld. I think it was in one of Russ's videos. And as he held it up, I was just like, something about like what's immediately around the room feels like night. Feels like wherever that trolls be. And then again, like it would make sense if the Jaguar is there because, night, darkness. But that's also why that emotional bleed Leecha sort of needs to be taken care of. But there is assistance in that, which is cool. What does this mean? I'm not sure. Expect for things to get real, magical, and synchronistic, I guess. It's like when Mufasa was like, remember who you are, Simba. Yeah, I mean, it's like, how did Simba forget that he was like the prince of the jungle or whatever, girl? Because he was out with Timon and Pumbaa all that time. He was like, oh yeah. And then Nala showed up. And Simba was like, oh my gosh. She's like, yep, you still can't beat me. I love when I combine these decks just to like separate them. I actually don't mind it. It's all a part of the process. I feel like I should leave one of each and the other. But I'm not going to do that because I don't want the decks to be incomplete. I've been playing a lot of Enter the Gungeon lately. I'm like consistently making it to the third and fourth level. I've gotten so close to beating the fourth level. And it's like I'll forget that I have items. Like I literally was like 2 shots away from making it to the forge, to the world 5, and I had an item that literally makes me invincible. And I just forgot. I'd forget to use it, and then I'd be panic running around, and I dodge right into the bullet. I had that same invincible item when I died too, and it's like, why do I have all these items that can literally save me, only to not even use them? What's wrong with me? I'm gonna get the mystical shaman first. Oh my! I need to turn these cards all upright. Oh, I didn't even. Soul retrieval in reverse, the serpent in reverse with the journey upright at the bottom of the deck. I'm gonna turn these all upright real quick though. Give me 1 minute. Coyote water in reverse. The blade and the vision quest and the wild woman and fire all in reverse. Tree of life in reverse. The luminous warrior in reverse. To become luminous, sacrifice the many paths in reverse. Ancient ones and the hunter in reverse. The moon, the staff in reverse. The owl and magic in reverse. The sorcerer, the curse, and taming the winds and the rattle all in reverse. Nope. Pachamama in reverse. Let's see. All right, everybody's up right now. Those did not shuffle. Trying to keep this sleepy so that when I end the live, I don't wake up. Because I'll get a second wind, a third wind, a fourth wind, and then it'll be 9 o'clock. All right, mystical shaman. Now that you are complete, now that you are whole, I feel like I almost remembered a dream. Yeah, I do. That dream was so weird. I had a dream last night. I had a dream last night that, like, I was somewhere and I was, like, asleep, but I wasn't asleep. But, like, I couldn't let people know that I wasn't asleep for some reason. I was like not even engaged. And then I saw somebody and I was like, hi, oh my gosh. I literally did that today when my friend was on the stage. Okay, fine, whatever. Um, but I was like, and then I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be asleep. But they didn't see me. But I was just like, I was like, oh no, I'm doing too much. The Rainmaker and Fire. Bottom of the deck is the Tree of Life. Number 58. 58 is La Fruma. Just saw La Fruma. 58, the Tree of Life. Number 19, Fire. Number 42, the Rainmaker. These don't feel like dissimilar energies because they don't feel like dissimilar energies. Also, kind of sort of because the Tree of Life is here, but not really. But it kind of sort of, but not really. But I'll take it. This makes me think of the Magician in the Tarot Apocalypses. How heavenly fire is water on earth. Water on earth is a manifestation of fire in heaven, or fire from heaven. Fire from heaven manifests as water on earth. Temperance. The angel has the glyph, the upward pointing triangle for fire on their chest, but they're pouring cups of water. Who's under the tree of life? I'm curious. The crow. Number 13. 58 reduces to 13. 13 is a 13. And now there's that upright Pachamama under it. 13 is a 4. So this is 444 technically at the bottom of the deck. 5 plus 8 is 1 plus 3 is 4. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 0 is 4. 4, 4, 4. Between the tree of life, the crow, and Pachamama. That's the Raven. 19, 1, 42, 6. Yeah, it's early here, technically. It's real late, but it's technically early. Cool. I'm like, where's the box? I'm so tired. Yeah, it's time for me to sleep, 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 sleep. Excuse me. I wonder too if with flow, There's an energy of like setting a precedent, especially with that Bifrost energy, especially with that Bifrost. That Jaguar is going to pick up on. Now I got to make sure all the rooms are upright. They no, because Lafruma's already in reverse again. Okay. Oh look, so Lafruma 58, Sigil 16, Yo 13. We got the 58 13 together again, but this time they're separated by the 16 of Sigil. Oh, let's separate. I think most of these are upright. Was Lafruma the only one in reverse? I feel like I'm starting to get sluggish. Starting to get a little slow. Starting to get a little slow. Excuse me. Starting to get a little slow. Starting to get a little slow. Slow. Boom, 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 boop, 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 boop. Yeah, I'm like mostly through the deck, and that was the only card in reverse. Ba 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Yep, that was the only card in reverse. All right. I guess Rainmaker was also coming in as some kind of towery, griefy energy. And I guess sometimes it's in the space of misfortune that we find our truth. Could be unfortunate truths, but they don't have to be. All right, Lafruma. Excuse me. Lafruma. I'll take 3 at the most. Would love 2. I feel like 1 by itself wouldn't be enough, but if I only get 1, I'll take it. 2 would be perfect. 1 is fine. 3 is the most. Final card, please. Oh gosh. And it landed face down. Love a bit of mystery. Bottom of the deck is Yarna. Yarn entwined 59. Frigg weaves golden threads of love into the destinies of all beings, so we may tangle our heartstrings with others. Occasionally, these divine yarns wrap and wind together 2 souls of mirrored frequency, predestined emotional ties reaching back to the birth of love and singing with harp like perfection. Let the sound of 2 hearts vibrate entwined as one and keep spinning a tender talismanic thread for another in eternal ecstasy. The golden thread of this makes me think of the golden thread of, or the golden flax of truth that Semyaza spun in the entry of Satario, just because I saw that card recently. The card that came out is the Shadow Knife. Nid. Shadow's nutrients. The war room, the fear room, the battle hymn, the grim song sung too long. The war of one to be one alone in our shadows. We hope the bloodied ravens fast, whisper a fresh melody in the silence, murder our crows and grow stronger. Thoggin's golden key of life. So, yeah, it's just like we're bound to the shadows. Ain't no escaping it. But not necessarily in a dark way. It's almost like there are certain things that will always be a part of us, even if we wish they weren't. The difference between Yarna and Neve is 49, which is death and the hermit. Oh, there's a hummingbird. Duh. There's a hummingbird with the golden thread right there. See? Plucking the thread. Under Yarna is Vindhorn being unbound, which I like because it's almost like even though we're entwined with our shadows, we don't have to be bound by them. And we become unbound by our shadows by like not being subject to their like winds or whatever, right? It's almost like maintaining the power of choice in reaction rather than being reactionary or like responding rather than reacting or whatever. It's kind of like that. So that's what I got. I'll leave it up because I leave like pretty much all of these up. Um, so yeah, basically everything that I've been reading up until now. But after the lunar eclipse moving forward, there's something about that energy really sitting on the body. Um, blank. Blanked. There's something about that energy sitting on the body in a way that is, I don't want to say accessible. I mean, yes, but it's almost like so around the solar eclipse was when that cosmic surge that was breaking through whatever was anchored, where a blockage or something that, and it's making me think of the crossroads with the bear, um, where we go beyond a point that we weren't able to go beyond before, and we start to take these magical pathways that catch the attention of the divine. Because now it's almost like we're pressing closer on divinity by not being so bound by hurt, pain, trauma in the 3D or other things that sort of like lock us to the physical in that way. Also, it makes me think of whatever that one reading was where the Ace of Wands, I think, came out with the Three of Pentacles. And it was like the fire is also an element. It's also a tool for the magician to use. But since fire can so easily burn, and because people are flammable, it's like we leave it alone. It was the vinegar for Libra. If you can't put in like a dash or a drop of vinegar, just leave it out of the recipe because you don't want the whole thing to taste like vinegar. Um, in the in between, it feels like it's almost like if that energy, the energy is etheric, the energy is just energy. The energy is not primordial, but it's like a stem cell. It hasn't necessarily been given a polarity or an element or anything yet. So it's almost like in between the eclipses is a process of setting a polarity for that. It's almost like one of those magic shows where there's a test, not quite like Harry Potter because they just get sorted into houses. Um, but where there's a test to see like what affinity for magic you have. So it's like if you are, I know in Hunter x Hunter they had one, and it's like if the leaf does this, then you are like a enhancer. If it does this, then like you're a projector. If it does this, then you're whatever else. There's also a few other ones where it'll be like where magic is separated by element, or there are different spirits associated by element, and you basically work with the spirit to perform magic. Then it's like if the ball emits green or red or blue or whatever, that indicates your element. If it flashes multiple colors, you're multiple elements, and if it's white, then you're like all of them or whatever. It's something. It's like that where like the mana is present, but there's a specific like element or modality that our body, that a specific individual's body is more innately suited to. That assessment period feels like it's in between the eclipses. And so it may come in the way of like how, like what we choose to do with that energy or how we use it or something like that. And then after the lunar eclipse, then it feels like there will be a comfortability or a familiarity with having that etheric sort of system online. And it's like it adds to the life force energy, basically life force energy. I'm saying etheric because it's like it's energy before, again, it's before it's broken down into an element, before it becomes physical or whatever. And that plays more on the image of the divine that we're created in, where we have the power to really create our lives in ways that we almost seemingly sometimes constantly do. But when there are different things that we're holding on to because that's how things work, or because we've had certain experiences in the past, or because other people tell us that this is how blah 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 whatever, it's like we're using it, but maybe not necessarily consciously in ways that are beneficial that we want. We can also use it in unconscious, and we can also use it without being super conscious of it in ways that are beneficial. It's not always like you're doing it to make yourself miserable. Not always. Um, but it feels like again after the lunar eclipse, then it's going to be a really deep understanding, or it's not a deep. It's going to be a deeper understanding, but it's going to really settle into the body basically. And I was just thinking about how it's a full moon in Scorpio, and then the yo of 13, and then the 58 of La Fruma, and the 58 of that other 58, and the other 13, how like 58 and 13 has been a thing. And it's like 13 is death and tarot, ruled by Scorpio. Makes sense. Also, though, it's like sun in Taurus, moon in Scorpio. So, because the sun is in Taurus, it's like it's providing illumination on things that we can see, touch, feel, taste, whatever. But it feels like it's like deeply motivated. It's also interesting that there's like that life force energy because that was the King of Wands in the uh, Double Majors Prime Use Tarot. That's what the King of Swords was observing the King of Wands to. And even before that, I think it was in the Lion, the Queen of Wands came out with that energy of like the Queen of Wands makes the earth bloom and blossom through the magnitude of her life force. So rather than it being like the Queen of Pentacles who plants and nurtures and like you put it in the right soil, you water it, make sure it gets sunlight and that it gets some carbon dioxide, and then it will naturally grow. The Queen of Wands substitutes some of those natural things with her own life force energy, not necessarily in a way that is draining to her, because it's almost like through her auric field, she like radiates it from the inside out, basically. And so things in her environment just naturally grow. So it doesn't necessarily take away from her own reserve because it's like a byproduct. But yeah, it feels like it's playing on that. For some reason, the life force of like the King and Queen of Wands specifically, and what that life force is able to do in their environment has been coming up. And according to this, we'll be finding out what that's like firsthand after the full moon in Scorpio, lunar eclipse. So, with that, I hope you all have an amazing whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. I hope that whatever you need along your path, journey, and way you find in a way that is beneficial for you. Thank you, Holly and Ariel, for being here. I'm going to catch y'all's maybe tomorrow. Maybe not. There are a few things like I found my camera. The camera was pretty much exactly where it should be. It was in the place that I keep it. I guess I just wasn't looking for it. My other camera, so I can do like the top down. And so I wanted to, of course, go back to the raw rune readings and finish that zodiac series. I also want to use the affirmators. So like there are things that I want to do. There are also things that I want to do before next week starts. So, and I've been seeing a lot of stuff. I even read it in the not resilience in a card. It's like there's some things I'm like, oh, I want to do this today. I want to do this day. I want to get this done. I mean, the hard deadline was before I start working, so technically, I'm not working yet. But there's some stuff that I really want to get done this week, and I've been hearing a lot of like, keep the promises that you make to yourself as well as the ones that you make to other people. I'm like, you know what? Why not? So sometimes when I get down here, you know what? We'll do one more final card from the Shaman Mystical Shaman Oracle cards. I wonder if with the Rainmaker and Fire, because like I said, the Magician card in the Tarot Apocalypse defaults by like heavenly fire is earthly water. But I wonder if the Rainmaker is coming in with water, asking us to turn that into fire. Because I'm assuming the same would be true otherwise elementally. I'm feeling like there's one more yes that wants to come out. Or maybe I just it's not been 2 hours yet, so I feel like this isn't long enough. Oh gosh. Soul Retrieval in reverse. Soul Retrieval was in reverse at the bottom of the deck before I turned all the cards upright. It was upright. I put it in upright. It fell out in reverse. And then Many Paths is here with the Holy Mountain under Many Paths. This feels like Soul Retrieval feels like this attempt to do something a way that it's been done in the past. Almost like yeah, I forgot. I remembered that I still have to do that earlier today, but I already forgot. I have Cancer through Scorpio to do. So, and the double majors. Thank you for reminding me. I remember when I was at the concert waiting for it to start. I was like, I still gotta do that. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Um, but this feels like, in a past life I was a this, or in this place I was a that. And it feels like it's an attempt to do something in the exact same way that it was done in the past for some reason. And it's like it's not to do that. Maybe it's a gift to reclaim, but with many paths and the Holy Mountain is to like do it in a different way. Maybe because we're in a different time, maybe because the environment is different, maybe because things aren't yet quite what they were last time, if last time things were in a more advanced position. You know what I mean? If things were more stable, um, in a way of how like everything is just so mutable right now. So maybe the mutability of everything, probably a lot of astrologers would attribute it to Uranus being in Taurus, have attributed it to Uranus being in Taurus, because even the most fixed of fixed signs is holding a planet of change. So the premier planet of change. I guess Pluto too, but nobody does it quite like Uranus. Pluto's kind of like a slow burn. Uranus is Uranus isn't quick, but it feels like it'll like Pluto feels like it'll be like one drawn out series. or maybe like a few drawn out things. But Uranus feels like thunder striking over and over and over, or it's like it'll storm every day. So like it'll happen and like these short sort of bursts, like shorter in length and more frequent than Pluto. And maybe because they're shorter and more frequent, because we don't have to necessarily sit in them in each individual flash for as long, it might not go as deep. It's like it's really chipping away super quick rather than like winding it up and then bringing it down like Pluto would. But anyway. Oh, my mouse is doing weird mouse things. Okay, well, excuse me. I will probably be on to finish Cancer through Scorpio tomorrow because I need to do that. I mean, it'll get done in its time, of course, like everything, but why not, right? So, again, I hope you all have an amazing whatever, whenever, and I will catch you probably later today.